Okay, I was working on another job and this one driving me crazy. Time to change these cartridges, but sometimes it can be a little tricky to tell which one it is. And sometimes it's even easier to tell without the shower head, you know, doing things. So turn each deal. There's the cold side. Here's the hot side. Still hard to tell. Sometimes it might just be better off changing both of them. But anyway, got these two cap covers. And we pull the deals. It's got a Phillips screw underneath there that holds each of the handles on. This and undo that. Now sometimes you can tighten them down if it's loose. But it doesn't run the risk in that case of stripping out and not being able to get it out. So just take a look at it. Not always. This is the hot side. Didn't do anything. So now take a look at the cold side. Try the same thing. I don't want to tighten it up so much again that it strips out. So. Here's that Phillips screw inside. Good idea to put something over the drain. Don't lose your screw down the drain. Try and tighten in this one a little bit because also I might discover which side is actually causing the drip. But it looks like that side, the cold side. Just looking at the deal, you see how it's all discolored. Looks like there's a little more going on there. So I think I'll be changing that one. I might just change them both, but I kind of think it's that one. So I'll change them both. Here's the new cartridges I got, and they're a little bit better as I've got this extra gasket there. So change them out. So here it is shutting off the water. This side's the cold side. It's got a ball valve on it, which is much better. The hot side has a gate valve on it. That's the green handle. And as I was about to find out, it did not work. And that's the problem with gate valves. A lot of times they get stuck in a certain position. Ideally they'd be stuck open because it's definitely much worse if it's stuck closed. But sometimes what happens is it gets open too far or cinched down. Anyway, they just don't have as good a track record as the ball valves do.
Doesn't seem so good. It's just spinning. And not doing anything. Well, looks like the cold side turned off, not the hot side.
It looks like the hot side would not turn off. It looks like the cold side turned off. Here's the cold side. That one's off. So I opened the valve all the way. Here's the hot side. That one would not turn off. And that may be the one that's dripping too. Hard to say. I'll change the cold side for now. See what happens. May have to turn it off at the boiler and turn the whole building off, but it is what it is. There's that old cartridge. It had no second gasket I was telling you about. It looked kind of worn and deformed. And here goes the new one. Take care not to get it cross-threaded. It's a good idea first to feel in there for anything funny, any rocks or anything like that, any old gaskets left behind. You can also look in there. It's a good idea with a flashlight. Let's take a look. Everything looks good. That gasket on the end of this is going to help that. Okay, take care not to get it cross-threaded. There we go. 3/4 inch deep socket works great for that. So it looks like our leak stopped, and I'm going to turn the hot side on. I'll turn them both on for a second. There's that one. Here's the hot side. So it looks like we got it. Looks like it was just the cold side. So it looks like I got lucky. I got to turn the water back on and prove it out. Otherwise I can just turn the building off, but I think we're going to be okay. Okay, the water's back on, but it seems like we got just a little drip there on that one. So I'm going to tighten the cold one in and just make sure it still had a little, and it made it react. So I'm going to go kind of slow with this one. Just open it up. Close it off and put our cover back on and see if that's all we got. And just don't want to over tighten that, just snug. I don't know, I kind of still think it's coming from that cold side. So let's try again. Tightening that down a little bit. Sometimes you run into a stubborn one. There we go. I actually think that was it. Definitely can be a little tricky to tell. Sometimes. So we got some new hardware. I put this together while that's still dripped. My guess is that hot side hasn't been changed in a while, and that it's hard to get to because the water won't turn off. So I think I'm gonna be changing that one out. New deal here. Alright, I'm going to go turn off the boiler and change this one. Alright. Turned off the switch on both boilers, and then always want to turn off the cold feed first, and then the hot feed second. Okay, ready to turn off that hot side. And, I always want to verify it's actually off first. No fun to get a hot surprise when the timer is off and it's not. Probably shoot up some water from here. Make sure there's nothing left behind. Make sure it's not cross-threaded. And now ready to turn the water back on. But we'll want to turn that water back on fairly slow. Crack the valve a little bit and close the door. I'll leave this one cracked a little bit and then go turn the water back on. Okay, so now we're ready to turn the water back on. Turn the cold one, or the hot one on all the way. And then the cold one, kind of slow. Most of our water, missing water, is right at the end on that unit, so it's not as critical because I did it pretty quick. This was like a 3-minute job, so it's all the missing water right at the end. Normally you go quite a bit slower because you crack that valve, but that's the progression. Don't forget to turn your boilers back on. I know because I've done it. That hot cup for the ball valve. The reason why we turned the cold off first and then the hot off is because that cup is heated up, and if it's really hot, we don't want all that pressure behind it when we turn it off. And then once we turned the cold off first, turn the hot off, then when we're ready to turn things back on, we open the hot back up and then turn the cold on. It just minimizes the pressure that's on the hotter valve. That's my thought process on that. Don't want to leave that plugged when you do that. That's my bad. Alright, turn my water off. And it looks like this one's going to need to be tightened up a bit more. Bad belt. Right here. Oh, it's about as tight as it can go. That's not good. No. Looks like we had a lemon cartridge. Look at. Yeah, we got a bad cartridge. Oh man, can't win. Like I have to go get some more cartridges and start again. Turn the water off. All right. Okay. That around. Hopefully this will turn out as I start tightening it in there pretty tight. Oh boy. Sometimes yes. When you run in a situation where you got to over tighten it, you have to use a different tool to get it out. Very hot. Let's see. At least without all that pressure. Looks like this time we can tell. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so now I'm going to crack that valve a little bit. Hurry and get the water back on. Just a little. Alright. Turn on the hot water first. Nice and slow for the cold water. Again, we won't have much air in the lines until that very end, so for this situation. Now if you have an underground leak, different situation. Make sure you go real slow. Again, don't forget to turn your boilers back on. Alright, done deal. Alright. So there we go. Now it's all shut off. Everything doing what it should. Ready to put it back together. These we don't need to over tighten these, just a little 1/8 of a turn past tight. Okay. And we got new scoochins and handles that my coworker got, and new shower head. And make this all nice and new and nice and shiny and no more drips. Keep things nice for a lot longer. Just new handles. They come with the 2 index buttons. So this one's the hot side. Left is hot, right is cold. Most of the time. 99.9999% of the time. Something like that. And our index button, we'll just want to put it on nice and straight. Get that Phillips tightened in there. Alright, now for the shower head. These can go over the existing Teflon tape. It's fine. Nice and neat. You can remove the old tape. You can reuse the old tape. Some people will disagree with that. That's alright. You can disagree if you like. Okay. There we go. Just want to make sure there's no old screens left behind. Most of the time, this is just hand tightened on. Yeah, here we go. Nice new shower head. These are the Niagara shower heads. Very inexpensive shower head, but a nice strong PSI. It's my favorite shower head actually, even though they're inexpensive. Alright. Alright. Nice and new. No more gray. Okay, here was that lemon cartridge. Let's take a look here. Let's see. Looks like the gasket here. Yeah, look at that. When that happens, you run into that sometimes. Looks like the inner deal just was worn. Brand new. Just pinched right from the factory. These cartridges, they run about $3 a piece. Probably not worth, you could send it back and, get a refund and all that. But at $3, I don't know. I don't think it's really worth it. You could try to change one of these. Again, probably not worth it. Just part of it, you run into a lemon here and there. That's the brakes. Lemon cartridge. They're sour. Part of life. Outside.